welcome to my YouTube channel. A major announcement. I'm so excited to launch this YouTube channel. The joke thing is that before this whole word of encouragement thing went viral, let me just warn everybody now, it's not that kind of sermon. It's just a word of encouragement. Someone say word of encouragement. We all know what we're doing here. The week before I had actually decided to start a YouTube channel. So it's so funny how things work and how God makes everything align. But this video is going to be focused on me, telling you about me, just giving you insights into who I am, my background and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to be going into different little subjects, subheadings like career, marriage, motherhood, ministry. So first of all, we're going to kick off with family. So before I got married, before I met my wonderful husband, Pastor Toby, who I love so much, as you guys know. Obviously, I grew up in the UK. I was born and bred in the UK. I have two siblings. I'm the eldest daughter. So I have two younger brothers. My brother is 4 years younger than me. My sister is 9 years younger than me. And we call her our Gen Z. Our Gen Z, shout out our Gen Z. But yeah, so I have two siblings, grew up in London basically, and then obviously went to do all my education, primary, secondary, college, university. I read law at university. And then after that, I started working basically in retail, which is where like things got a little bit, because obviously you don't go to university to get a law degree to work in the shop in West End in central London. So that was a really tough time. I was there for almost 2 years. I really thought I was going to be there for 4 months, but I got stuck there is what I like to say. And then obviously my life changed because I met Pastor Toby in our church. So now we're going to go into marriage. So met Pastor Toby in the church that we now pastor, which is just a crazy thing in itself. The fact that we actually met in the church where he pastors now is insane. But essentially, where do I even start? I mean, first of all, I grew up in CAC. So my parents' church was CAC, Christ Apostolic Church. Amazing church, That's where I also learned a lot of Yoruba as well, because obviously we sang a lot of Yoruba songs, even sometimes our sermons would be in Yoruba and we would have an interpreter. So I think that's also why I'm so well accustomed to Nigerian culture, Nigerian language as well. So when I went to university outside London, I went to a Redeemed in the area for the 3 years I was at university on campus. So when I came back, I kind of felt a little bit disconnected from my parents' church, I can't lie. So then I kind of went church hunting. So I think I went to 4 churches. Some churches, they were people invited me. Some churches, I found them online. So with KICC, I remember just Googling them. Nobody invited me. I didn't know anybody there. And one Sunday morning, I just walked in the same church that we're pastoring now. Of course, Pastor Matthew, my wonderful father-in-law, was preaching. And I still remember the message, an eagle believer. And that was basically over 10 years ago. I think we're talking 12 to 13 years ago. And I walked in and I was thinking, yeah, this is home. And obviously now it makes sense why it was home, but then it didn't. But I just walked in and I just felt this is where I'm supposed to be. So I started going to the church on Sundays. I would go on Wednesdays for Bible study. But then there was this particular Sunday where I didn't go to church in the morning. And now I know that it was the Holy Spirit that was prodding me to go to church in the evening. And I had never been to evening service before, but something was telling me, why not go to church? Why not go to church? So I went. And then I was ushered upstairs, which I was upstairs? I really want to sit downstairs where I'm closer. But, being, respectful, you don't fight the ushers. People don't fight the ushers, or if they tell you to sit somewhere, just sit there. But yeah, so I went upstairs, worshiping my God and all of that. And then I had to leave early because I had a shift at my retail job the next day starting at 7 a.m. So I think after the offering, basically, I just started to walk out. So as I was walking out, that's how somebody just said, excuse me. And then I turned around and Pastor Toby basically gave me a note, a handwritten note. He's like, I wanted to give this to you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I walked off. And then I saw he gave me his number. He gave me his Nigerian number because I saw +234. I know that dialing code though, +234. I was like +234 Where are you based? What? So I saw his email address. And then I called my mom. I was like, Mommy, some guy just gave me a note. And I was low-key a bit like, are you not supposed to be going to church to be worshiping God? Why are you giving me a note? Do you know what I mean? Why are you toasting me kind of thing? But my mom was like, yeah, why not call him? So actually on that same day, I called him. So that was December of 2022, I believe that was. So we had one date in Vapiano's in central London before he went back to Nigeria, because he was living in Nigeria. So we were talking on the phone for 4 months, and this is not today where you have FaceTime audio and WhatsApp audio. We were using calling card, as in I was getting calling card from the corner shop to be calling Pastor Toby, to be gisting with him and all that kind of stuff. And it was also the times of like Blackberries as well. So anyway, talking for 4 months, and then he came back to the UK in April. And I took leave from my work, and then that's when we like made it official. So we're now official, in the month of April, but then he went back. So the question now was like, he's in Nigeria, he's in the banking industry, I'm here, I'm in retail, like I'm not gonna ask him to come here, like, do you know what I mean? So what am I gonna do? So then that's when I decided to go to law school, which brings us to education, I guess, a little bit in Nigeria. Went to law school in Nigeria. Oh my gosh, that in itself might have to be a separate video, because that was an experience. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I was living in the Nigerian law school accommodation. I was not in like an apartment. Do you know what I mean? And the living conditions were so much so that there was no running water. Hey, all my Nigerian Buhari law school students, stand up. On the campus, is there running water? There's no running water. You will use bucket, like you will pay I can't remember the names. You will pay the ladies, right? I think I was paying them 3,500 per month at the time. They will be fetching water. They'll bring it upstairs on their head. They'll now pour it into your drum. They'll now go downstairs. They'll be filling up. So every time you want to use the shower, you take your bucket, you go to your drum, you empty water into the bucket. That's what you use to shower. It's not water coming from a tap overhead. Nah. When you want to use the toilet, as just be taking the bucket with water from the drum and be entering the toilet with your bucket. That was like my life for a year. Oh my gosh. And you couldn't make your own food. So obviously like you had to pay for food. But that's when I was exposed to afang soup. Oh my gosh. So my roommate, so again, I had a roommate. So we had a roommate, and then 4 girls to like a toilet bathroom, but you had a roommate. She was from Akwa Ibom State. So she was the one. Shout out to my roommate. I don't want to say names because people might not want to have their names on blast. But she introduced me to afang soup, and I think that might just be one of my favorite soups. Like, there's so many amazing soups, but afang, chef's kiss, gorgeous. So I'll buy food, afang soup with goat meat, beef. But then obviously sometimes you'll just be unwell because of course sometimes these things they're not made with like the highest level of hygiene, right? So there were times where people were down and out because like the food just made people sick sometimes. But yeah, that was an experience. So anyway, did law school for about a year. Then we got married. Then I did my call to bar ceremony. And then we lived in Lagos. So before I get there actually, when I was in law school in Abuja, I was staying with my big mummy and my cousin, shout them out, my lovely, lovely family. So basically on the weekends, I would stay with them, and then Pastor Toby would drive me from their house to Buhari in Abuja to law school every Sunday. So he'll pick me up on Friday and he'll drop me back on Sunday for like a year. So then when we now got married in October 2014, so it'll be 11 years this month actually, just around the corner, we basically lived in Lagos on the island, essentially. So that was like me and Pastor Toby's first matrimonial home, living in Lagos. It was just me and him. There was no one else, just me and him. No staff. It was just us, okay? There was no house help, there was no driver, it was just us. But it was such a lovely time, just me and him being in Nigeria. I really, really enjoyed that time. And where we stayed was so gorgeous. It was a wonderful estate. Wonderful neighborhood. It was really, really, really nice. But then I fell pregnant, which now takes us to motherhood. So of course, as many of you know, I'm a mum to 2 amazing girls. I love them from my heart. They are 9 and 6 actually. So I had my firstborn when I was 25, basically. Not too long after me and Pastor Toby got married as well, actually. So we did everything quick. But yeah, they are amazing. They've seen me grow. I don't know, I can't say enough about them. Like they love me so much, and obviously I love them, and they've seen me grow. Like they've seen me in different elements. Like they've seen me not be a leader, they've seen me be a leader now, you know, they've seen me be behind the scenes, they've seen me be in front of the scenes. And I just thank God that I have daughters who basically are able to see, like, in front of them, like the options that women have. So I'm just grateful that they can see that, you know, a woman can be a leader, you know, a woman can work if she chooses to, and how to try and do all of that with grace. But I really love them so much. They are like me and Pastor Toby's whole entire world. You know, even like when we're doing ministry stuff, they never complain. Like they're just such amazing kids. They never complain. They're always understanding. They're always rooting for us as well. Like we really love them. But yeah, so I'm a girl mum, as I like to say, to my 2 precious princesses, my 2 little lovely angels. So we've done marriage, we've done motherhood, we've done career and education, we've done a bit of Nigeria as well with law school, right? And now I'm going to move on to ministry. So ministry is very interesting because I've actually been serving the house, serving the Lord for a long time. I joined the choir when I was 9 years old in CAC. So I've always been a person that serves. But in terms of my journey at KICC with Pastor Toby, so Pastor Toby went into full-time ministry, I think 2016, and he was basically made the international youth minister. And I was very much like not involved, like to the point where I think there was sometimes like, babe, this is your ministry, so I don't even know what's going on. Like I'm not involved. Like I want to be involved. Like I want to be included. I want to know what's going on, kind of thing. So it was even me that inserted myself, right? Because PT, one thing about PT, he never pressurizes me, which is one of the reasons why I love him. Like this ministry stuff, he has never pressurized me. I know he told me to do the word of encouragement, but if I had said to him, I'm so scared, I can't do it, trust me, he wouldn't be like, well, go and do it. Do you know what I mean? So he's a pusher, but he's not a pressurizer, if that makes sense. So anyway, so when he was doing that and I explained my, you know, frustration with not being involved, of course he was now like bringing me in. So then I started to get more and more hands-on, So in 2024, because obviously Pastor Toby had started pastoring his branch in 2022, so 2023, sorry. So 2023, he was given this assignment to take over this branch. And I was now officially pastor's wife. Some people say Iyayad, which is a Yoruba way of saying pastor's wife, first lady. Basically, he had to now decide who his heads of departments will be. So this was around 2024, I think ending 2023, beginning 2024. So with the young adults ministry, which is called Royals, I think we were discussing who would lead that. And I said, we could lead it together. So I was even counting myself out to be the sole leader of this ministry. I was like, we can lead it together. So our ministry mentor, who we love with all our heart, kind of challenged that. And he was like, Toyin, why can't you lead it on your own? Why do you need to co-lead? Like your husband is the pastor. He's also the international youth minister. Like he's got a lot on his plate. Like why can't you lead it? I said, me, lead what? The whole thing. I said, cool. I said, I'm not a speaker. Like I do behind the scenes, processes and procedures and systems. Operations, that's my bag. Do you know what I mean? I was like, but as for leading like a ministry like that, I was like, Uncle, please. He's like, no, like everybody has their strengths. Kiniko. So even that, I was reluctant to even accept, or not accept, but see myself as the leader of the ministry. So last year in January, I believe, or February, I can't remember, early last year, ordained as a deaconess and obviously ordained as the leader of the young adults ministry. So even during that whole period, 2024, up until 2025, mid-2025, I was still doing behind the scenes stuff. So I wasn't leading prayer. I wasn't teaching Bible study. I had a team of people who would lead prayer. I would have a team of people that would lead Bible study. But I was basically ensuring that everything was running like a well-oiled machine. Do you know what I mean? That's like my thing. Until this year, when God was leading me to do something, which is gonna be revealed in my next video, because even that word of encouragement in itself is just a lesson in obedience. There's so much to share about how I even got to that place. So in a nutshell, when it comes to ministry, I've always served. When I was younger, I would play the drums sometimes. I'd play the keyboard. Music is a huge part of me. I did music GCSE. I got an A as well. Yes, I will say that one. Yes. But I got an A in GCSE music. Music is a huge part of me. So, you know, PT's always saying that, Toyin, but you know you can sing. I'm like, please. But yeah, music is a huge part of me. Serving has always been a huge part of my life as well. So, I mean, I'm going to round it up now, just so obviously to give you guys some time. I'm not trying to take up all your time, but in terms of what to expect with this YouTube channel, honestly, it's whatever God wants. I'm just surrendering myself to His will, to His plan, to His ways. There might be some testimony sharing at times. There might be a word of encouragement at times. It might be a story time at times. So I think, you know, it's just something that I'm hoping that people would obviously like listen to, and it'll just put a smile on their face. Like, I want to share hope and encouragement and, you know, uplift the people who are watching, basically. So I would say stay tuned. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. I'm so excited for this new season, and I want you to be a part of the journey. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye.